When we learn to attune ourselves to our inner compass or our intuition, then we start to follow a map that only we can see, because this is our own journey, our own life path, if you like. Now, all the major spiritual traditions serve the purpose of offering us some form of roadmap to guide us on our individual journeys through this life to enlightenment. And these roadmaps are made up of moral codes, of parables, and in some cases, some really quite detailed descriptions of mystical states. When we study the fine points of particular ascended masters, for example, if we look at their narratives in order to better understand and to seek inspiration and guidance for our own path, it can be really quite informative, but sometimes also a little bit daunting when we're trying to master all of the things that there is written in their teachings. But in the same way, when we plan a road trip of our own, we might carry some maps or some guidebooks in an effort to help us to understand where we're going and what the journey is going to be like, and what we can prepare for when we arrive, all those different kind of things that we might think about. But in both cases, the journey of life has its own ups and downs, and maps, although undoubtedly they are helpful tools, they can only take us so far. So they're only good to a certain point, because there is just no comparison between looking at a line on a piece of paper and driving your own car down a road that line is actually resembling in some semblance. Now, some people seem really, really well suited at following maps, while others are always looking for new ways to get to where they're going. Some of us go straight from A to B, others maybe take the slightly more scenic route, and we might get lost a couple of times. We might stop off and look at some different things, different places. So everybody's journey is going to be different. But in the end, the only reliable compass you're going to have on your own spiritual journey is your internal compass, that intuition, that gut feel that we talk about. And as with every great spiritual guide is going to tell you, you've got to follow that inner sense of knowing. The maps and the travel guides that have been left behind by others are undoubtedly a great blessing for us, and they're an education for us to a point. They're full of useful information, and there's some really enlightening inspiration in there, but they can't take the journey for you. Okay, when it is time to merge onto the highway, or maybe pull up the anchor and set sail, we are instantaneously on our own. Okay, things like, adverse weather conditions, closed roads, traffic jams, roadworks, things like that, they can arise just in a heartbeat, out of nowhere. And suddenly, our maps can't tell us what to do. The notes that those guides wrote, they're no longer giving you the finite direction that you need. Whether you choose to take refuge in a motel by the side of the road, maybe you're going to persevere and continue and push forward with your journey, while some of you may decide to turn back and maybe take the journey another day, while others may actually take the decision to give up altogether. Maps are based on observations from the past, and we are living in the present, in the here and now. So we are the only true experts on our journey to enlightenment in this life. And we may find that the road travelled by our predecessors is actually now closed. We may feel called to change directions. Maybe we are going to take that scenic route. And at that stage, the maps that we've been carrying really no longer apply. You've got to forge your own routes. These are the moments when we learn to attune ourselves to that inner compass, that intuition, that feeling, that gut sense, because following a map that only we see, as we make our way into the unknown territory of enlightenment.